Hey there, welcome to Hermit Haven. I'm Ashley.
And I'm Jackie. We're so excited to invite you into our safe space. Hermit Haven is like a cozy little hideout where we get to celebrate being confident in ourselves as we find happiness in quiet moments.
So grab your favorite blanket and your favorite drink, and let's dive into today's episode.
Hi, I'm Jackie. Welcome back to Hermit Haven.
Hi, I'm Ashley. We are so excited to have you this week. We are up to episode 89. Still crazy to me. Every time I literally just keep saying it because I don't believe it. And this is our third season of fall that we'll be celebrating on Hermit Haven, which is crazy to me. And you're probably like, hey, Ashley, it's not fall yet. It's literally still summer. It's August when this episode comes out. And you're like, why are you talking about fall? Let me tell you what we've experienced personally is that if you don't prep for the next season, which again, we talk about seasons all the time, we're talking about literally the physical season, but if you treat it just like every other season, like what we talk about in every other episode, right? Then you are always going to be ready for it. It does not matter because let me tell you, right? Fall's going to come and you're going to be like, all of a sudden, like, I need jackets. I need this. We're going to go to pumpkin patch. We're going to do this. And then fall's over and you never did any of that. And you end up buying 40 sweatshirts you never wear because you actually had sweatshirts that you were going to wear anyway. So this season, we are going to prepare together, right? We're all going to like hang out. We're going to be besties and we're going to chit chat for the next couple weeks on things that we're doing that are current, that are just like things that we do that are always going to help us prepare for next season. And especially in this episode alone, we're going to talk about those things.
Yeah. I mean, Disney starts their Halloween shows in August, right?
Yeah.
I think August is when they start Halloween there. So fall is coming. But when I think of fall and I think of seasons and transition in this time, because I'm a mom of kids that are in school, I think of transition from summer into fall, but like into school, right? Into
And I
like
think
starting school. And the whole routine changes drastically.
I forget all the time because I don't have school age kids yet, but you're so right. Like, especially as a
Yep.
mom, you're in that season where you're literally hanging your schedule by school. You don't have the same
Yeah.
calendar as us.
Yeah. And a lot of like fall sports start. Like my kids aren't really in sports just yet, but like a lot of sports start. So like there's a very big change for moms of like, slightly older kids from summer to fall because of all of that. And like the entire schedule changes. And then you're kind of like, the mornings are different. Because right now, like our mornings, I'm so lucky to be home with them, but like our mornings are so slow and they start to get busy. You got to be somewhere at a certain time. And I know for myself, I have to mentally prepare. I have to physically prepare. I have to write out a schedule. Gavin, I've noticed is a lot like me. He's always asking like, what's next? Like he likes to know, what's happening. And I'm the same way. And sometimes I get like not annoyed, but I'm just like, Gavin. And I'm like, I should do that because that is so me. And that is something that I need. Like, I need to know what's happening, especially when a new season comes. A lot of things, not a lot of things, but even little things can change and it can still throw you off. And so that's what we wanted to talk about in this
Yeah.
episode.
Again, besides the physical season, right? Like we talk about this a lot that it's so, a season can happen when you're entering a new chapter. A season can
Yeah.
happen anytime. Like this alone, like right now is a bit easy way. I would say this is like your ticket in to preparing. Like this is an easy one, right? Like, okay, we're switching seasons. It's a little easier to prepare for. You know what you need, right? You know fall's coming, so you're gonna need sweatshirts, like I said, you're gonna need all these things, right? And I think this is an easy one to start that habit of preparing for what's next. Because a lot of times we don't prepare for what's next. And then
Yeah.
we get stuck in this place where we just don't know what to do. And I think sometimes too, we don't separate things. We're so lucky that we have seasons to tell us, hey, there's four, quarters of the year, there's four parts of the year, right? And we don't see the same in our own life. And that's something too, I think seasons teach us that we need to learn from is that there is
Yeah.
parts of our life, right? Right? There is the part of your life where maybe you are busy with your family, going on family adventures because it's summer, right? And again, bringing seasons into it, but we all know we're going to go on family adventures during the summer, or maybe you're going on family adventures during the winter because it's winter break, right? Whatever it is, right? You have that time to go because we're just granted that time to go. Or let's say it's just you're in the season of motherhood, you're becoming a first time mom, right? That's a whole nother season. Like when you become a first time mom, the whole world doesn't exist. Like for the first like couple months, it's just you, baby, and whoever else is in that house, right? Like no one else exists, right? And that's a
Yeah.
new chapter. It's an invisible load, right? Of all the things you have to do, right? That's an
Yeah.
invisible load, right? And that's why it's so important that we're writing it down, we're consistently keeping up with it. And here's the thing about it too. Certain stuff get to do it again, right? If we're so smart, we write it down once, we save that list, we're able to use it again, right? I know I'm not that smart. Sometimes I have to redo it 100 times, right? But sometimes if we really are smart about it, we're writing it down, we're keeping track of it, right? You're not writing the same packing list 1,000 times because you use the same packing list again, right? Or, your child is going to start soccer. So you're starting to pick up, new cleats for them. You're starting to pick up new things for them, right? As, the weeks go on, right? But you're not waiting to the last minute, right? That's part of that, right? And that's an invisible load too. And I think that's part of it is how do you handle that invisible load? Right.
Yeah.
And especially going into another season too, that like you're nervous, like all the feelings. So I think we really would just, besides, I just want to put that out there. Besides, like, we're going into fall, I just really want to put out there that fact is like, it's not just about we're going into fall, it's everything behind it you might not see. So on the surface, like, yeah, we're excited and we're actually going to get more into our excitement about fall next episode. We're going to go like straight into fall. I know it's still early, but like Jackie said, Disney puts out fall decorations in August. We're
Hmm.
starting in August. Let's go. So next week, tune in. We're really excited. We'll get into more about the fall part, but besides this week, but like we'll really, really, really dive into it.
Yeah. I think when I like am thinking about preparing for the next season, the biggest underlying thing for me personally with my personality is I need to remember the like balance. And I feel like there can be a balance. It's not perfect, but I feel like there can be a balance between all the things that I, need to do. And some of that is like things for kids for school or whatever's expected of you in that season. Motherhood, like, I'm there for my newborn, like, but I also need to remember that I'm a person and I need certain things. And some people need more time than others to themselves. Some people need more time for their hobbies or things that like mentally will just make them feel better, or some people need to spend more time with people and like have that community, and so everyone's so different. So knowing for yourself what is going to make you feel your best and what you need more of, that's like the biggest underlying thing when I think about hopping into a new season, even if it's just something, whatever, small. But I was even thinking of that is such a great thing to know now because unexpected hard seasons come, right? Like when I lost my dad, obviously didn't expect it. And it's kind of like in the newborn phase when you were like no one else exists. That's kind of how it feels to me when I was grieving. Everyone else is there and they're living their lives, but I'm just like watching them from like this place, my own whatever. I don't even know. I'm just like watching everyone else move along and I'm just like stuck. And so knowing that I have things in place for myself and kind of knowing now like what I need, and it's still hard, like it doesn't make it any easier really, but I can put time towards myself and know like, okay, I know I feel better when I'm reading. I know I feel better when I'm a lot of for me it's like taking myself out of whatever I'm thinking. I have to get out of my brain. So whatever that is for you. But I just think that's so good to know in any season. And that definitely helps even just in like the season of transition into school too. I'm going to be running around taking the kids to school and doing all the things. And I need to know that I have time for myself as well, that I'm not just spending all of my free time on the podcast and on, social media and things that I'm doing for, work. Like I need to make sure that I'm taking some time for myself. And it's easy to say we don't have that time, but like we do have that time. A lot of the time we're like, we just need a break, so we're going to scroll, or we just need a break, so we're going to watch a movie or XYZ. And that's great. You can do all those things. But if at the end of the day you're still feeling like you're not fulfilled enough, then maybe take some of that little bit of that time and pour it into something that's going to fulfill you.
100%. I think too, like we let time slip away because we think we're going to get it back, but we're never going to get it back. And so being prepared, living in the moment, this is like ways that we pretty much like make our time like last longer. And so like, we're always talking about like living in the moment. We're always talking about, romanticizing life and like making the most out of life. Like that freezes our time. Us preparing for the next season, that freezes our time. We're not wasting time preparing in that season for that season, right? Like we're ready. Like we know that, we're going to go take family pictures this day and we're going to go do this on that day and whatever it is. Like we know it's happening. We're not just like, and I think, like Jackie and I were having this conversation the other day, and I think sometimes we get so prepared that we don't realize it didn't even, like, I was literally talking to Jackie and she was like, oh yeah, we're going tomorrow to do this thing. And I was like, I swear, I thought that already happened. Like, we were talking about it, like, it was like, we were so prepared that we were like, I was like, wait, that didn't happen? Like, sometimes that happens, right? That's how you know that you're
Yeah.
on the right path. Is like you're like, wait, that didn't happen. Like I have so much to look forward to still. Like that
Yeah.
person has so much to look forward to. My friend still has all this to look forward to still. Like, this is another way again to hack time. It really is. And so I think that's a valid point that you're bringing up is like this is instead of spending your time and again, the way you use your time, we're not judging you, right? At the end of the day,
Yeah.
we're
I
not
scroll.
yeah,
I
we
like to scroll.
scroll. I literally posted a video that I'm gonna go rot in bed after I drink my drink. Like it
Yeah.
is what it is. I watch cheesy trash shows. Like it is what it is. Like we're
Yeah.
all humans. Like we all have our guilty pleasures. Like it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's not what we're saying. We're saying to take what you're doing and really use it to your advantage, right? So like you
Yeah.
have all this time on your plate, use it. Use
Make
it.
yourself feel the best that you can in that
Yeah.
moment. And it might be scrolling or it might be doing something else.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, yes. I think
Yeah.
too. So something I want to bring up too, when you are entering a season, again, it could be physical season, like fall, summer to fall to winter, whatever it can, or it could be like a hard season, like Jackie's talking about grief. I know grief was hard. I know newborn season is not hard, but is hard, and it has like ups and
Yeah.
downs. Like I don't know
Yeah.
how to explain it. It has its own
Yeah.
thing, right? Everything has its own thing. I think something we forget about too is write down your notes. Like literally write down your journal, observations, like how you felt. Write down things you could have done better, things that were like successful, things that you would try again. Like these things are important. Like I think we so many times as human believe that our brain is just gonna like recall it. Like our brain is just like gonna recall it. That's not what our brain is for. Our brain is not to like hold all these things. Our brain is like our brain is to like work. Like you want your brain to work. And so when your brain is getting like clogged up with like holding all these things, right? You honestly your brain just forgets it. Your brain's like, well, I just don't have room for it anymore. And so like instead of relying on your brain to prepare you for next season because it already prepared it, you handled fall last year, you can handle fall this year, you handle fall the year before. No, stop. This year we are all gonna be journal girlies, we're all gonna be like paper and pen girlies, we're all gonna be notebook girlies, we're all gonna be like calendar girlies, whatever type of girly you want to be to get yourself like more on the groove. Take your calendar, like let's just even start with that. Like take your calendar, open your calendar and say, okay, this is how many months of fall I have. All right, this is what I have going on already. These are the days I have available. Wow, I only maybe have 4 days. You realize that's what
Yeah.
happens when you really start preparing and you start planning. You realize that you don't have as much time and that time means the world to you. And again, these are thoughts that you're going to have because you're already doing the work. Again, all these episodes go together. So if you're doing the work and you're saying you're showing up for yourself, you're journaling, you're doing all this work, you realize that this time is important, right? Preparing is important because of this.
And I was just thinking as you were talking, like when you're like, you only have 4 days, like those 4 days, it doesn't mean you have to fill every single one up also, because this is something I learned the hard way. I say it every single year. I said it last year. I was like, I'm not going to do as much stuff this summer. I'm not going to do as much stuff. And I've been doing like a million things. And so sometimes like when we go into a new season, we think about all the exciting things that are coming up, especially for fall, as a fall girly who loves fall, or even like into the holidays, there's so much fun that's happening. But sometimes you have to think of, instead of like, what do I need more of? It's like, what do I need less of? So that you can keep your sanity. And everyone will be different. Some people love being around people. They thrive. I follow these girls, and it's funny. I follow people that are completely different than me, on social media. And these moms that love like leaving the house every single day. Like it keeps them sane to leave with their crew of kids every single day, right? And that is not me. I am sane when I am here. And so we're all different. Realize that.
Yeah.
But people
Mm-hmm.
that are like me, and even the people that aren't, sometimes you just have to be like, well, you know what? Like, I would love to get together that day, but there's so much going on that week. I'm going to have to pick like a different week because I just need a little sanity time. And if
They
you're
don't
like,
even, they don't need to know that. That's the
they
thing.
don't. But for me, it makes me feel better when I say that. I'm like, I do, because and it's a people pleaser in me. And I'll be like, well, like I
Don't
would
be
love to,
so
because I feel honored though when people, this is kind of off topic. I feel honored when people think of me and want to invite me somewhere. Like I really do.
I do
Like I
too.
genuinely, I'm like, oh my gosh, you want to hang out with me? Like, I love you like so much. And so I want to say yes, but I'm trying to learn that I can't say yes to everything because it's just too much. And especially in the transition of seasons, like for me, the transition from summer to fall and the schedule is completely shifting and everything
Get
changing,
used to a routine.
it's too much.
I feel that way about like after we go like away to go see a grandparent. I'm
Mhm.
like, oh, it's a new season. Like I don't even have seasons anymore. I feel like it's just like, oh, we went to go see a grandparent. I was like, I couldn't deal with this before we left the house before we went to go see the grandparent. Now I'm like, okay, we saw the grandparent. we don't travel for our 6 months, maybe 8 months. We can actually like settle in and have like
Yeah.
a routine
Yeah.
again.
Yeah, it's true. Seasons are small and big. Like sometimes it's like one day could be like a season. Like I don't know what happened yesterday, but I had the most spiritual, amazing day. Like it was its own little season. So seasons are completely different, and sometimes they're big things that are kind of obvious, and sometimes they hit you in ways that you didn't expect, and that's okay. The biggest thing is just like being able to adapt to what's going on. I think it's really hard for people, and I get that. I get that myself, but I'm learning here. I'm learning that like I can set a routine and I can set the things that I want to happen and knowing in my head and not in like a negative way, but knowing that like probably something will try to get in the way. And then I'll have to decide in that moment like do I move forward with what I planned or do I shift it? What's going to work the best for me? And you're the only one that will know that, but just knowing like got to be like a little flexible with things.
Yeah, I think too. So if we're really breaking this down, okay, so if we're thinking about it, season can be anything, right? It's easiest to understand seasons by literally physical seasons, right? And so, and we are in that shift. So this is why we're bringing it up because this is a great point to bring it up, right? We are at the end of August or beginning of August, landing into some of you guys start school soon. So Jackie's technically her season will start soon for school, right? Or some people are starting fall, and so it could be like that fall season we're talking about. And I think it's the thing is yes, that is the physical season, but then season can look like, well, for us, like we were saying, like, oh, I'm traveling, Jackie's school year, right? That's her season, right? That's how her life works. That's her family works, right? Her everything works, right? And so a season can be like, okay, I'm going to temporarily get a degree for 6 months or whatever, 8 months. I'm going to go do a certificate or whatever it is, right? That could be a season, right? A season can be, I don't know, a season can be like, I'm going to go play rugby or I'm going to go coach rugby, right? Whatever it is, like that can be a season. A season can be
Yeah.
like, hey, I'm going to be a temporary holiday worker. That could be a season, right? A season always looks different for however you want to like call it. But if you don't prepare for it, then you're just going to be in it and it's going to end. And you're going to be like, what just happened? So that's why it's important. A, you're preparing. So you're not just like jumping into it and then you're not in it and you're spending time figuring it out. You're already like figured that part out. And I think sometimes a lot of times is like if you're really like preparing, you're not just like physically taking your calendar, like I said in the beginning, but you're also like mentally preparing. So you're journaling, you're going through the thoughts. Maybe you're like my mom, or like sometimes I think there's other women that are like this, but my mom, I love my mom to death. And she's like the perfect example though. My mom is the type of person when I remember when she was little, this was like something about her that I remember is she needs to like, if she had to go to like a new doctor, like take me to a new doctor, she would have my dad take her the day before to where it is so she can see like where every turn, everything is. And I think like there's a lot of people like that, right? And that's okay, right? If you have a new job, right? Go see if you can go like check the building, like do a drive
Yeah.
by, like whatever it
Yeah.
has to be, right? Ask if you can come a day earlier to meet everyone, like whatever you have to do. And that's preparing, right? It's dealing
Yeah.
with the mental load ahead of time, right? Or let's say you're going through something right now. You don't want that to melt into something else, right? Let's say the season you're in is different than like work, right? Work is not the same in what season you're in, right? Right? Yeah, at work you have to be a different person. Make sure you're not bringing whatever season you're in to that place. So that means that you're preparing yourself. Okay, I'm going through this. This is how I'm going to handle myself outside this bubble, right? Because
Yeah.
unfortunately, when you're going for something, we take it out on other people, and
Mhm.
then unfortunately, that is when bridges are burned, things happen, right? And unfortunately, people don't understand, and that is what it is, right? And I think that's part of like the seasonal thing is like, how are you presenting yourself? How are you managing it on your own terms? Because if we're just like sitting in it and we're just kind of like melting in it, nothing's going to happen, right? We're not going to move forward. We're just going to be miserable human beings. And that's not the goal here. The goal is to continue to be happy, continue to find joy, to continue to grow. So when we're in a season, make sure we're journaling. We're taking care of ourselves. We're taking care of how we handle ourselves, right? We're taking care of the management part. So remember, you're preparing yourself. You're thinking about the calendar. You're thinking about like what you want to do. You're planning. You're prepping. You're mentally doing the things, right? Then when you're in the season, same thing, right? You're mentally dealing with whatever the season is, if it's happy, whatever it is. But you're also like something Jackie does, and I want to talk about this. I love it. She has like a little journal with her photos and she writes about her experiences. Like she romanticizes the season, whatever it is, even if it's bad, she'll like then journal about it, right? Like she's always romanticizing the season for what it is. I think that's so important. I think that's a huge lesson. Like she'll show me her little spreads and it's like her photos, like she writes little descriptions, like she's romanticizing it. I think that's such an important thing. Like when you're in a season, romanticize it, enjoy it, make it what it is. Take the photos, take the memories, right? Like don't stress about it's not perfect. Like really enjoy the season. And then I think when the season ends, that's the part where we all just kind of like move along. We're like, "Oh, that happened." Like, "Oh my gosh." Journal. Take time to take care of handle your feelings because unfortunately feelings linger because feelings come from your thoughts. So that means you're dealing with your thoughts. When you deal with your thoughts, you're not on this like level. Like things don't just like sit there anymore. Like it's like okay, I dealt with it and it disappears. Like it's I feel like when you don't deal with it, it just sits in you and sits in you until your brain just kind of like lets it go. And I think that's
Yeah.
sometimes why we can't even bring ourselves to the next season, right? Sometimes we're so stuck in the last season, the season before, because we never dealt with the last season.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah, not dealing with like your thoughts and emotions and stuff. Like it's amazing. And this is like a whole other episode, but like once you like let yourself feel it and like work through it and actually like so when I journal, like I just do stream of consciousness and I just write. And like I find things I didn't even realize that were in there that came out. It's such a good practice. The reason I do the memory thing is because I have a really bad memory and it's something that I stress about because I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't remember X, Y. I can't remember so much of my life. And so that's why I write a lot of things down. But it is fun. I do love romanticizing it and use the stickers and all the things. It's my way of like decompressing without being on my screen. But one thing I was thinking about when you're talking is just realize that even when you prepare, because I made a whole summer routine for the week, a general routine, like, oh, these are the days that we're
Mhm.
going to go out and do something, and these are the days that we're going to be home, and blah, 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 blah. And just realize that it doesn't always work perfectly, and that's okay. That's normal. So you can prepare as much as you can,
Yeah.
but and that's part of the being flexible thing, but like just know I make plans and sometimes it doesn't always go
That's
according to
the
plan, but that's part of the growth, right?
yeah.
It's part of the growth. And maybe next summer I'll be like, remember last summer when you
But
said you were
that's
going to
part of the
stick
puzzle
to
piece
something?
too, right? I think that's like the most important part that we might have not fully like said yet is to be adaptable, right? We're
Yeah.
planning because we want to be prepared, right? But are we like religiously following our schedule like, "Oh my gosh." No. We're
Yeah.
okay with accepting for what it is, but knowing that we're prepared and we're planning, does that make you feel more confident? Yes. Did
Yeah.
like going to summer make you feel more confident because you were prepared and planned?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is why this is important, right? This is like literally so important because, like you said, and I think that, like you said, it's also like the growth piece. Like, continue if you want on that. Like, I think that is amazing on its own.
Yeah. I mean, growth is we don't like I don't I never used to think about growth like we think about it now, and it's like so mind opening when I think about it now. And before it was just like, oh yeah, growth, cool. Like I really didn't think that you could grow actually, and that I don't want to get off topic, but like I didn't think that that was like a possibility for me to grow out of certain fears and things that I had. But it is such a growth thing because when you're preparing for something and then you realize like, oh man, like maybe this didn't work out, or I could have done it differently. So like next year I'll remember that. I'll make a note. I'll write it for myself so I don't forget it. And and then the next time you learn more and more and more and you get better and better and better at the season, or remembering what you did or didn't do that worked or didn't work so that you can just keep making you better and keep growing. Like that's what life's all about. Learning.
Yeah, I love that. I think you're so right. I think that's so important. I think that's like a great like way to just kind of like put everything together, like tie it together. Like these are the steps, but really at the end of the day, it's not about the steps. It's really about like how you're growing for these seasons and how you're
Yeah.
becoming the best version of you. And I think, I don't know, like I love this topic because maybe it's something we always talk about. And I love every topic because really in reality, like it just feels so good to talk about it. It really
Yeah.
does, right?
Yeah.
And I think what it's so important about this one is because we talk about it all the time. Like all the time. And I think and it's something maybe that's what we like chalked everything up to be like, hey, it's just a season. It's just a season, but like that's how our like mentality is for a lot of things. It's just a season. It is what it is, right?
Yeah.
Like if I harped on this season for so long, then I can't live in the season I'm currently in and I can't love the season I'm currently in. And I think something so important, so special about us is like we really take time though to understand what happened last season. We're not like trying to tear anything apart. We're not like being like trying to fix it. We're not trying to regret it. We're just like what could we learn from this? And I think
Yeah.
that's the most important part is what could you learn from any season?
And also, like, what can you help others with? And everyone's different, so like, not everyone's exactly the same. But like, before I went through grief, I didn't know how to help anyone else that had grief. Like, and still, everyone's different about it. But or motherhood, like, you don't know until you know, and that's okay. And so, like, when you learn how to do different things or go through different seasons, then you're able to like be there for others too and like support them. I think that's really special too.
Yeah, and I think, it's a big I think too when you start seeing that it's all seasons, you start seeing that like maybe other people are going through seasons and that's why they're not showing up the way they used to, or maybe that's why they are showing up the way they are because the season they're in, they have the room to show up. And I think like you just start accepting what your own thing is that, and you don't see what other people's things are because you accept that like everyone's going through something and it's okay, whatever it is, if it's good, bad, whatever it is. And I think when you're truly like head forward, like focusing on the season you're in, preparing for the next season, growing in the season you're in, leaving the last season, right? You don't care what season anyone's in. You're willing to show up in that person's season. And hopefully, as we're building this community, we're finding people that also are willing to show up in that season, like, for someone else, right? That's so
Yeah.
important, right? And we don't, and even though I might have had a newborn at one time, and Jackie might have had a newborn at one time. I don't know what you're experiencing.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes that might be the biggest lesson is how to be there for someone in their season and how
Yeah.
to adapt your season to be there for someone in their season because you don't know what they're going through.
Absolutely. I love this topic.
I do too. Like I said, I really believe that life is like, and again, I was that. Like, I say this all the time because I think if someone was listening to this from my past, they'd be like, oh, but she used to be like that, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to say I was never not like that. I didn't
Yeah.
understand these concepts. I
Yeah.
did not understand these concepts. And I think if I did, but I like, over time, I learned these concepts because I learned that life is too short. I learned that I could sit here and harp about every little thing and I could be upset about every little thing, right?
Yeah.
Or I can love the life I'm living because I love what season I am, even if it's challenging sometimes, and even if it has bad days, because it's
I
life.
was
Good.
gonna say past you is looking at current you and they're like, oh gosh, she figured that out. Or like, wow, look, she like grew so much and look at her now and she's learned and she's grown and yeah, that's what life's about. When I was little or younger or even like last week, I mean, there's probably something I learned between last week and now that has changed my perspective and made me grow and made me learn something new. So that's normal and expected. It doesn't matter what past you did. It just matters what current you is doing.
Yeah, and I think, say like just going back in that like for a second, like you're saying, like past you didn't know to prepare for the next season. Past you was just like
Yeah.
living in the season. And like yes, we were living in the season, but we didn't realize why the season was escaping us. We didn't realize like how much more we can get out of the season. So like why this is the growth, right? Like we realize now, like if I prepare for the season, and even though I know this plan might not actually follow any of the things I'm going to do, at least I am now walking into the season with this mindset that I am ready to take on whatever.
Yep.
And that just makes us love life more because we can
Yeah.
handle whatever. But anywho,
Makes you
love you all.
love
Thanks
you
for
all.
hanging out with us. We will see you next time, next Wednesday. We will see you there. And remember, we have a fun episode next Wednesday. So that is going to be like super fun. Again, so we're physically going to talk about the next season, which is fall. And we have a very fun episode. So we are going to talk about our fall bucket list, which we love, which means all the cozy things. And we want you to come prepared with your cozy thing so we can chit chat together. So start thinking about fall. Start thinking about the cozy sweaters and the cozy outfits and the apple cider and all the things. And come check us out on our social medias. And we'll see you next time. Tag your friends. Bye-bye.
Bye guys. Thanks for spending time with us today and being part of our Hermit Haven community.
We hope you enjoyed our cozy chat and are inspired to embrace your inner hermit.
Remember, even in the quiet moments, you're never alone on this journey because we are truly all in this together.
So until next time, stay cozy, stay true to yourself, and keep spreading love wherever you go.
Bye for now.
We'll see you next time.